guys, today I'm going to be telling you about painting with tempera paint in our studio. So the first thing you want to know is that tempera paint's a little bit messier, and so I'm going to add a paint shirt. They're over here. These ones just pop over my head. And the next thing you need to know is that you need something to paint on. So whether that's a piece of paper or popsicle sticks or your cardboard sculpture, you're going to grab it and make sure you set up your painting area. So I'm going to make sure my name's on my paper. And then I'm going to put it down here. Then I'm going to make sure that I can protect my area by using maybe a newspaper. So I can paint right off the edges, making sure I have a paintbrush, a water tub that's about half full, and a towel. The towel will be when I need to dry my paintbrush's hair. So this is a rag from the clean rags. And then I'm going to ask Mrs. Ortner for my paint. So she's going to pump because this paint is already a liquid. It is kind of super messy. So this is the part that Mrs. Ortner does. You do not need to take care of this. But just know that this cling wrap is going to get thrown away at the end. And this is what the paint's going to sit on, is this cling wrap part. I'm going to ask Mrs. Ortner for the colors I'll need. I want to do a flower with this magenta. And I want to make a green leaf and some grass. So I'm going to ask her for yellow and blue because we have the primary colors and I need to mix up my green. When I'm ready to paint, I'm at my station and I'm going to begin, just as I normally would with the other paint, by making all the things on my paper, dipping and dabbing. I do not add any water. It's already a liquid. Then when I want to switch colors, I need my water. So I'm going to wash my paintbrush, wipe it on the side, and dab it on my towel. If it's not quite clean yet, I can wash and dab. I'm looking at my towel to make sure there's no magenta on my towel. Then I'm coming to my next color, and I'm going to use that for the center. Sometimes I can mix on my paper. If I want that orangey center, I'm going to go a little bit into my flower, and it makes it a little bit orangey. Okay? I'm going to make sure that my paintbrush is clean before I start my green stem. So I'm going to wash it out. When I want to mix two colors, I'm going to make a tiny tornado in between the blue and the yellow, and that's going to start making green. If I want a little bit darker green, I need more blue. If I want a more grassy green, I need more yellow, and so I'm going to put a little bit more yellowish green. What I'm not doing is picking up all the blue and yellow together. I'm just grabbing a little bit from the edge to make that little bit more grassy green over here, and a little bit darker green with my blue over here, almost like a teal-y color. Depends how much yellow you use and how much blue you use, which one's darker and which one's going to make it more dark. So I'm going to start by making my leaf, painting my leaf shapes all the way around. And I'm going to make my grass over here. And I'm painting off my paper because I have that newspaper underneath and I can do that. Mrs. Ortner's saying it's almost time to go. Okay, I need to stop painting. But it's hard to stop painting, so I'm going to make sure that I put my paintbrush in my water tub, and this is going to go over to the countertop so that I can grab my iPad to take a picture of it, and this gets out of the way. Then I'm going to make sure that I start my cleanup process. So I'm going to make sure that I unwrap this, and I'm going to make sure that the paint's going in the garbage can. This is clean, and this goes on the shelf. Then I'm going to make sure that I can throw away my newspaper if it's really got a lot of paint on it, or I can just fold it up a little bit. And I'm going to make sure that I wipe up any table spots, any water. I'm going to bring this to the dirty rag box, and I'm going to dump this out in the sink. When I'm dumping it out, I'm going to fill it back up with a little bit of water and keep washing my paintbrush. If I don't have a lot of time, I'm going to put this on the shelf, and I'm going to put my paintbrush in the hot tub with its hair down to soak the hair. If I do have time, I'm going to get one pump of soap, and I'm going to shampoo his hair until I see that his hair is turning green. That was my last color. Then I'm going to wash it out. use a paper towel to dry my hands and the brush, and then I'm going to put my hair up with the rest of the paintbrushes. Last thing, I need to double check that my table is clean and take off my paint shirt.